Clements Homebrew coming at ya. Today we've got a barley wine, and this is the classic Sierra Nevada Bigfoot, the barley wine style ale. And this has been around since 1987, so it truly is a classic at 9.6% ABV and 90 ABUs. And the nice thing with something being around like this, there's actually a lot of description you can get off of this particular one. But one of the other things I really like is that it's got the date right on top. And you can get it in 4-packs. So I've got 3 of them set aside to open up at various times in the future. This one is made with 2-roll pale malts and English caramel and dextrin, as well as they use Pacific whole cones. For bittering, they use Chinook. They use Cascade and Centennial in the finishing, so at what times they don't say per se. And they dry hop with Centennial, Cascade, and Chinook. They use an ale yeast with an open fermentation, which is a little less usual. So let's take a peek at this one. Wow, this is very much like a reddish color. A dark amber, maybe to reddish, but you know, very, very red, almost mahogany. It's, if you can see, it probably looks very red for you in the camera there. It's got a thin head, not a big surprise on that. A tan head, some big bubbles, and then some real light creaminess. I'm sure it's probably gonna leave some lacing, you know, maybe some legs down the glass. We'll see as we go, but let's get a nose on this. Wow, very nice. I got a little bit of pine, a good bit of caramel coming off of that. Yeah, there's some nice hop. I get some grapefruit coming off of that as well. Yeah, it's probably pretty cold. I'll probably get some more aromas off it later, but a hint of some breadiness, you know, some nice sweetness on it. I'm gonna get a taste on this. This is really tough because last night I had a hair of the dog, the doggy claws, so not at the same level. But this is very, very good. Yep, you get a little bit of the alcohol. It's really what I'd call on the full side of a medium body. It's not as thick as I would have thought. Not as sweet as I might have expected. You have bitterness building on the back side of it. We'll have some sweet character, some caramel malts. It's funny, the bitterness almost makes me think a little bit of a rye at the end. And I know that's really coming from the bitterness combined, but it does remind me a little bit of a rye. And it's funny, one of the interesting things on this, and they didn't say which style it was because I wanted to taste it for myself. I've seen it classified as an American barley wine, but I think I read at one point that Sierra Nevada actually classifies it as an English barley wine. And except for the additional bitter bite, it doesn't feel, I know it's 90 IBUs, but it doesn't seem overly hopped. I mean, it does seem almost more like an English barley wine style to me. Because compared to some barley wines I have, it's more reserved. And I think because Sierra Nevada has called it an English barley wine, that's the style in which I'm going to rate this. But I'm going to let this warm up a little bit, and I'm going to come back and give a final on it. Now that it's warmed a little bit more, and probably I was drinking it too cold to start, getting a little bit more breadiness to it. It is starting to taste maybe like more it's on the light end of full as far as the body goes. A little more creamy in texture. Picking up some more of the sweetness, a hint of a brown sugar in there. I'm surprised there's not as much lacing action going on with this that I might expect. A lot of floral hops, get a bit of like of the grapefruit aspect, you know, lightly in it. Get hints of fruits lightly in it. You know, quite frankly, there's just a lot of caramel type malt coming through. There's a lot of hops coming through actually. For 90, I would have thought it might have been higher even. But considering that this is a barley wine at 9.6% ABV that you can pick up in 4 packs, in that sense, I gotta say this is pretty impressive. All right, time to rate this. I'm gonna have to go for a barley wine. I'm gonna go to the English barley wine side, again, as I said, as opposed to the American. And because I'm rating as an English barley wine, I'm gonna give it a 90. If I was rating as an American barley wine, I'd probably rate it down further. For overall, just personal taste, I tend to like the more American barley wine styles, which have just a lot going on, a lot of character going on. So 85 for me on my overall. I mean, this is a good tasty beer. It's a solid B. So from Clements Homebrew, life is too short to drink cheap beer, and I will see you in the next beer review. Cheers. Clements Homebrew. Hey, I'm coming at you today with not enough light on my damn face. And now my phone is ringing. You know, it's how it works sometimes. Hi, Christian.